Hello and welcome to another episode of Gaming with The Sims. In this video we're going to be looking at the board game Terraforming Mars. This is a look at a board game we've already covered once in this channel a year and a half ago. The reason why we're coming back to Terraforming Mars is due to the amount of expansions there has been to this game. So in the normal game you get player boards. In the normal version of it, everybody starts with one generation of everything, every resource, and then if you play corporation mode, all your starting resources are at 0 and you've got to build up more. So it's slightly longer, slightly slower, but there's also more cards in the game to help you out. So that is the basic game. I'll show you the rest of it shortly. The second expansion of it was you had the first expansion to the game, I should say, was you could buy a double-sided board to give you the other areas of Mars. All plays through slightly different, but the main goal of the game is very similar. The second expansions came out would give you the Venus expansion. So it adds another milestone to go to get you extra terraforming points, and it gave you something else, and it gave you more variety of corporations to use and different cards to play through, so more expansions. Now this is a very unique video because of, well, special video I should say, because this is the first time you'll see a fabulous co-host to the channel, my wife Heather, to go through the latest two expansions to Terraforming Mars.
So, I'm Heather Sims. This first one's called Prelude, and then we've also got Colonies as well.
So, we're going to do another couple of videos which will look at both these two new expansions in the next coming weeks, but for this video we're actually going to do our very first game run-through as well. So we'll relocate to our coffee table to actually do the game. So we've got, and hopefully you can see it all, we've got a game of Terraforming Mars set up. We're going to be playing corporate era, which means both players, or all the players, will get their colour tokens and put them on 0 on their resource board. If you play the standard version, you all get to start on 1. You also get 1 of each colour and put them on 20, which is the starting area. This is up to 5 players, so Heather's playing red, I'm playing blue, you've also got green, black and yellow. So at the start of the game, each person gets dealt 2 corporation cards. The rest goes into the box, and they also get 10 of these cards. So the goal of the game is to have the most points when oxygen reaches 14%, which is the maximum it's allowed to be in this game. All 9 tile oceans are out, and there's a maximum of 9 tile oceans, and the temperature gets to 8 degrees, which is the maximum temperature. Each time you increase one of these 3 areas, you'll increase your terraforming points, which increases the money you get each round, and also they are worth victory points at the end. To start off with, you look at your 2 corporations you get given. So Heather, do you want to get your 2? On this corporation, it will give you a special effect, and it will also say how much money you will start with. So you've got to look at your 2 corporations and see which one you actually want to start with. You'll also, at the same time, look at your 10 cards, because depending on your cards might influence what type of corporation you actually want to go for. So Heather, you're allowed to look at your cards as well. On your player cards, which is this stack, you'll have a maximum. There'll be sometimes you can only play cards early game. There's some cards which you can only play late game. So there'll be playing requirements for your card, so you don't want to do it too late. Also, you've got to actually buy the cards you want to start in your hand. So when you choose your corporation and you get your money, you will also get then the chance to buy or discard which cards you want to do. Everything uses the same 3 tokens. You've got a large gold token, which is worth 10 of any unit. You've got a medium silver one, which is worth 5 of any unit. And then you've got a bronze small cube, which is worth 1 of any unit. On your dashboard, it's quite easy to knock over from one zone to another, so you've got to be careful and be honest about where your tokens are going, because of depending on which zone it's in, it could actually help you and benefit you a lot more. So I'll start. So I'm going to discard the mining guild because I don't want to be it. On the mining guild, if I chose it, I would have got 30 money, 5 steel. My steel production would have gone up by 1, and any time I would have placed on a steel or a titanium node on the board, my steel production would have gone up 1, and I would have had 2 buildings to start with. I haven't gone with that, and I'm also getting rid of 5 cards. So what the corporation, I'll do it from the start. The corporation that I'm doing is equal line, so my plant production goes up by 2 each turn. Well, it goes up by 2, so I'll get 2 plants each time, and I get 3 plants. I also get 36 money to start the game off with. But I am choosing to keep 5 cards. 5 cards is 15, so I've got to give 15 money back to the bank. Start off with, to look at the ones I'm getting rid of, there's like an instant event, it would cost me 5, and I'd get 5 steel. Steel is worth 2 money if you're building a building, which is quite good. So 5 to get a potential 10 money, it could be worth it. There's a scientist one. This is a very late game one. I'd have to have 5 science tags to play it. And you've got some others. And one of them I'm getting rid of is even the card which would have, at the end of the game, lose me 1 VP at the end of the game, but I'd lose 2 heat generations, gain 1 energy generation. So there's some of the cards I'm giving away. So Heather, what corporation are you choosing to be?
I actually had a really difficult decision because it was between this one that I'm getting rid of, which would instantly give me 60 money, and every time I put an earth card down, or a card with an earth tag on, I would pay 3 less for it, which could come in handy if I was playing a lot of just earth tags. However, I did decide to go for this one, which means I place a city tile immediately, and I also get 40 money. Now, the other thing with this is that every time somebody else places a tile down, my money production increases by 1. If I place a tile down, I instantly get 3 money. So this is quite useful if people are building quite a lot, and it's an easy way to build up some money.
One of my friends, Alistair, had that the first 2 games we ever played this with corporations, and he steamrolled it. So that corporation is quite powerful. So, how many cards are you choosing to discard?
I'm keeping 3, so I'm getting rid of 7 cards. Mainly because I ended up with a lot of quite late game cards. There's one with like quite a few science tags involved, things that you put microbes on, when obviously I don't have any cards right now that I can put microbes on, and it is all like maximum 12 degrees and things like that, and things I wouldn't really need. There's some with minus points in there as well, and one that would actually decrease my money production by 1 step, which I don't really want to do. So I'm discarding them, and I'm going to keep 3.
So what we're going to do at this moment in time, we're going to do the first 5 turns of the game, and then we're going to skip forward. We keep going to play it properly, but then we're going to skip to the 10th year, just so we aren't boring you with actually playing it through, and we're going to skip slightly. So last game, I believe I won because of Heather didn't have a good time, and I had a lot of Jovian tags. So it means I'm going first. In your turn, you can do 1 action or 2 actions before you give it over to the next player. when you come to your turn and you don't want to do any actions, you say pass, and then you're out for that turn, or generation it's called. Because of each of these are actually, they aren't 1 year, they're a generation each time it goes up. So to start off with,
I need to pay for my cards.
oh yeah, sorry. So you've kept 3 cards,
Yeah.
so you need to pay 9. So we'll take a 10 and give you a single one back. To start off with, and it's really hard because of, you don't actually start with corporation mode with much. We do know we're guaranteed to get, so what I'm going to start doing is, I'm going to play underground detonations, which is, you've got to keep a good area of your board next to where you play open, because of, you need to see your cards with what tags they've got currently on it and the abilities they're gonna do. So this is gonna cost me 6 money, so I'm gonna pay 11 and get a 5 back, which isn't actually that useful because I want to keep more, but I get to play to do it. So all it is playing a card there, and I'm going to say it is now Heather's turn. Sometimes it's beneficial doing both actions you want to do in one turn, sometimes it's more beneficial to do one. So I'm going to see where Heather wants to do her starting turns, and say it's Heather's turn.
So as my first action, I'm going to follow my card, and I'm going to place a city tile. So I'm going to take one tile, and I will place it
on the map. Just to give you a recap from the last time, there is some areas in blue. These are reserved for ocean tiles, so you cannot put cities or foliage there. There's also 3 special city places where you cannot place a normal city. You have to use a card to place a city there. So go on, Heather, where do you want to place it?
I'm going to place it here. Now here has a little card symbol, so that means I get a card if I place here. So I pick up a card.
Yeah, and also when you place, you get to put one of your markers on it, because of at the end of the game, you'll get points for every foliage next to or adjacent to one of your city tiles.
So because I've placed, and because my card has special effects, it means my ME production goes up, because it says when any city tile is placed on Mars, increase your ME production by 1 step. So my money goes up by 1, up to 1. And then also it says when you place a city tile, gain 3 money. So I'll also gain 3 money for that action. Okay, so that's my first action complete.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to see if I want to play a second action, or if I want to just pass it over. I think I will play a second action, and I am going to pay 7. Oops. That's 7.
Yep.
Oh, throwing it around now. To play imported GHG, which increases my heat production by 1 step, and I gain 3 heat. And this is a single time card because it's red, so it's a single action. Yep. So I increase my heat production by 1 if I can get it to stay. And then I'm going to place, that's these, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 heat.
Then because it's a single use, you flip that card upside down so you can't use them tags again. But it stays in your play area.
Yeah.
So Heather's had 2 turns, so automatically goes to the next player, which is me, because it's only 2 players. And I am going to choose to do a second action. So I'm not going to play any cards, but there is other ways to do actions. So you've got your standard projects here, which anybody can do, and you just pay what's on there. Or I could do my underground detonations. All blue cards, you can use their action once per game. Once per turn, once per generation I should say, but where the standard projects you can do as many times as you would like. So I'm actually going to do the standard project of power plant. So I'm going to pay 15 and I get 4 back, so it will cost me 11 to do so. And my energy production goes up 1 step. And then I'm actually going to give Heather a heads up, and I'm going to say pass. So I do no more actions this generation because I've got no money and my cards are all too expensive.
So I'm going to have a look through my cards. I'm going to see if there's anything worth doing now, or if I just want to stop and skip the generation and see what happens next. Because some cards are better being played a bit later on than straight away. Just have a quick flick through. And I think I'm going to play 1 for 8. So I'm going to pay 8. So I'm going to pay 10. And I'm going to take 2 as money. And this goes very, very well with my corporation. It is a rover construction. So when any city tile is placed, I gain 2 money. So now my generation also gives me 3 money. So that means I'll get 5. And it also gives me a point at the end of the game. So that stays in play. So it's going to stay face up.
Yes.
So that's my first action. I'm just going to see if I need to, if I can do another action, which I can and I will. So I'm going to do technology demonstration. So I pay 5 and I can draw 2 cards. So that just saves me money. I'm buying cards in the long run, but yeah, I can't discard them if they're rubbish.
Yeah,
so it's a bit of a gamble.
It is a gamble indeed.
That's 5. It's a red card again, so it's going to go face down because I can't use it again. And I'm going to pick up 2 cards. And then I'm going to say pass.
Right. So this is an end of the generation, so a certain few areas happen first. So if you've got any spare energy, it automatically goes into your heat energy. Neither me or Heather have any energy, so that goes on. Also, the first player goes to the next person, which changes. Now we'll also get to do resources. So for me, my money generation here is on 0, but I'm on 20, so I do get 20 money. My steel and titanium are both on 0. My plants are on 2, so I get 2 plants. And my energy is on 1, so I get 1 energy. So that's all my generation happened. So Heather, do you want to do your generation?
So I'm also on 20, but I've got 1 money generation, so I get 21 money this turn. So I'm going to take 21. Also, I have 1 heat generation.
Yep.
So I'm going to put 1 counter here. I'm on 0 for everything else, even though they look a bit skew with. So that is me done.
So also, we get 4 cards each, which we get to look at, see if we want to actually buy any cards. Again, these cost cards to purchase. Heather also did move generation up 2. I was going to do it at the start of the turn, but we may as well look at. So, we've both discarded. How many cards have you kept?
2.
So, Heather will pay 6 money. I'm also keeping 2, so I'm going to pay 6 money as well. So, Heather, it is your turn first.
Okay. So I'm going to have a quick flick through again. I'm going to play a big card right out at the beginning. So I'm going to play an 18 cost card. So 10, 15. So I'm playing 18.
Yep.
I'm playing Research Outpost. So whenever I play a card, you pay 1 less money for it. So all cards, I pay 1 less for it. Also, I place a city tile next to no other tile. So I'm making use of my corporation at the moment, and this is a blue card which stays in play for the rest of the game. So I'm going to place a city tile, and it says I can't place it next to any other tile. There's not many tiles on there at the moment, so I'm not too bothered about it. So what I will do is I will place it here, because this is a card spot again, and you never know. Yep. So, and also because of that, I get to increase my money production.
Yep.
And I also get more money than this states because I have my rover construction card in play, which also states when any city tile is placed, gain 2 money, and this says when I place, gain 3. so I gain 5 money back.
Also, do you want to mark your new tile?
Yeah. And I'll put a marker on my tile to say it's mine.
So that's your first action. Are you doing any other actions, or are you giving it to me?
I'm going to do one very quick action. If I can find it, I saw it before. That's the one. I'm going to sell a card.
Okay.
Because I don't want it. It's a -1 at the end of the game, and it's minus an energy and -2. I don't want to decrease my ME production 2 steps for to increase it again for 2 steps. It's a really weird card. Don't want to do it. So I'm going to sell this.
Yes. So, well, that's you minus not your ME production, but another player.
Yeah.
So it would get rid of 1 energy for Heather. It would drop my ME production by 2, but Heather would gain it because she's hacking it. She's done that with a standard project, selling it, so she gets 1 money because she sold 1 card.
And then that's my 2 actions.
So it goes to me. I've only got 18 money. I'm really short on money at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another standard project, and it's power plant again, to give my energy a little top up. So now my energy production is 2. And I'm actually going to say pass and do no more actions this turn. Well, this generation. So it's back to Heather. Because of it's only Heather left in, she can do as many actions as she wants now without any me trying to stop her from doing anything.
Okay, so I am going to spend all my money now, all my remaining money. So not forgetting, I have a card in play that says I play 1 less money for any card I play. I'm playing another high 18. It's an underground city, so I've got 17 exactly here that I'm going to pay. I'm going to that out, and I decrease my energy production by 2. Well, I don't have any, so it doesn't affect me.
No, you can't actually play that card. You can. The only time you can remove production is your money production, because your money production can go into a negative. All other areas cannot go lower than 0 because you don't actually have any to do it.
That's okay. I will play this card then. It's called Mining Rights. So that's a 9, but my other card said it's going to be 8. So I'm going to do 8, so I'll change that for 2. And I place 1 of... There they are. So one of these tiles goes onto either a steel or titanium, and then I increase that production by 1 step. So these are steel, these are titanium, and these are steel. So I can place it on any one of them. I get 2 of them, and then I also increase the production in that area by 1 step. So, bearing in mind that the titanium will actually is worth 3 money, and you use that instead of actual money, and that steel is only worth 2, I'm going to place it on a titanium. So that will give me 2.
However, again, that's reserved for a ocean.
Oh, yes it is. So, I'll move it here, which is not reserved for an ocean, but it's still 1.
And also, you then flip it and you also get to control it, that area, to show that it is yours.
So I'm going to put one thing on there, and I'm going to increase it by 1 as well. And that's that card finished with.
So yeah, just going back to the steel and titanium, if we actually have a look at some of these cards, so most of the impact cards, or the single-use ones, are something to do with space, so it's got a titanium symbol in the corner. This means you can use titanium instead of money. Most buildings have the steel building structure, which then means you can use steel to build it. You can't normally just use titanium and steel to pay for stuff. You have to do it in a certain way. Because if you were to do, say, build heather, the plant on the area, steel or titanium wouldn't actually help you to do it, so it's only what's actually helpful. So, any more actions this generation?
No. No more actions from me.
So we do our tidying up our boards. I'll do mine again. I've actually got energy now, so that goes from energy, because I never used it, into heat, which could be useful. I'm still on 0 here, but I've got 20 from my terraforming rate. I've still got no steel or titanium. I've got 2 more plants, so that will put me on 7 plants here, and my energy production is 2, so I'm going to have 2 energy. Heather, do you want to...
Yep, so I'm still on 20, but I'm now on 2 ME production, so I'll get 22. Oops. I'm on 1 production of titanium, so I get 1 for that. And I'm on 1 production of heat, so I get 1 here as well.
So, the first player will come back to me, and the generation will go to generation 3, and also we will get 4 cards each. As always, you have to pay 3 if you want to keep any of these. I'm just going to keep the 1 card, because of I really need to have my money up to be able to do anything.
I'll get rid of 2. Well, I'm keeping 2, so I'm paying 6 for 2.
Okay, so to start things off, I'm going to do a lovely little action. Normally you need 8 plants to be able to put a plant tile down. Because of I'm eco-line, I only need 7. So I've got 7 here now, so because I started with 3 and I had 2 production, so I've got to get rid of 7. Now, when you place a plant down, you get, not only do you get a VP at the end, but you also get to increase the oxygen now. But also, I've got to think, if I place it next to Heather City, she'll also get a VP at the end, but at the same time, she's got some nice tiles next to a city. But at the same time, as I said, I don't want to give it to Heather, so I'm going to place it here. So when I place it here, oxygen goes up by 1, which means I go up by 1. So now I'm on 21, and I've also placed it on 2 steel, so I will get 2 steel. That is my first action, and I'm going to say, Heather, it is your turn.
Okay, so I'm actually going to play a card which will probably make me pass for the rest of the time. So I'm playing like probably the biggest card I've played yet. So I've got a card still out that says I pay 1 less for this. This is 22. So paying 22. It's called Towing a Comet. So I gain 2 plants.
Okay, go on.
I'm going to place that on here. I raise the oxygen by 1 step.
Oxygen by 1 step, which means Heather's now on 21 as well.
And I also place an ocean tile. So I'm going to place this here.
So placing the ocean also increases Heather's terraforming rate by 1.
That also gives me 2 titanium, because I placed it on here.
Yep.
So I'm going to give myself 2 titanium.
With oceans, if you ever place next to an ocean, you get 2 money back as well. Just to inform you.
And I am going to say pass. And that's probably pass for the rest of the generation as well.
So I'm going to want to increase my energy again. Funnily enough, which I've been doing every turn, except for I'm not going to use standard project this time. I've actually got a card to do it. So it's going to cost me 12. It's got the steel structure here, so I'm going to spend just 2 steel for it. So that gives me 4 off the price of 12, which means I've got to pay 8 left in normal money. So you can, you don't get any money back if you overpay in steel, but obviously you can pay steel and then the rest of it in money. So that is a green card. So it's you get the benefits. It still stays face up for your tags, which you need, but I'll get 1 energy and 1 steel production from that card. Now, my next card I'm going to do, or my next action I should say, is I'm going to do the standard project again and pay 11 to increase my energy production, so I'm now on 4 energy production. But I have used near enough all my money, so I'm actually having to say pass as well. So that's it over for this generation. So over for the generation, my energy here goes into heat. You don't have any. We'll move the generation marker over and put that up. So my generation, I am on 21 now, so I get 21 money. It's going slowly. I get 1 steel, I get 2 plants, and I get a magical 4 energy, which could be useful. So Heather, what's your generation?
So I'm on 22, and I've got 2 money production, so that'll be 24. And then I've got 1 of the titanium production, so I'll get 1 there. And I've got 1 heat production, sorry, and that goes here as well.
So then we will get 4 cards each.
I'm keeping 2, so I'm just going to pay 6.
I'm reviewing the cards in my hand before selecting how many I'm going to buy, just because I need to make sure I don't stop what I actually want to do. So I've got only 26 money, and I've also got to actually play some cards. So I'm going to keep 2, so it's going to cost me 6. So Heather, it is your turn first.
So I'm going to play this card called Arachnobacteria. It's 6, but I've still got that card out that says -1 for everything. So it's a 5, so I'm going to swap my by 5. And it must be 18 degrees or colder, which it is. It's minus 30?
-30 at the moment.
Yeah. So I increase my plant production by 1 step. So I'm going to increase that by 1. And that's all that card does. So I'm just going to see if I want to play anything else right now. So I'm going to play this for 3. So I'm going to get rid of that. 2. It's a mining area. I'm doing the same thing as I did last time. So place the tile in an area with a steel or titanium placement bonus adjacent to another of your tiles. Increase your production of that resource by 1 step. So
here's the mining token.
Thank you. So I've got this one.
Yep.
That has the titanium on it. So that goes there.
And we'll mark it up as yours.
Yep. I get 1 titanium. I believe that's also got a plant on it.
It does.
So So I'm also going to pay myself a plant.
And then you also increase your titanium by 1.
Which goes there. And that is the end of my turn.
So for me, my first action is going to be pay 15, which I'm going to do as 13 and 1 steel, because I've got the steel building on it. And it gives me a steelworks. My second action is I'm going to use the action on the card. So take one of my tokens and I put it on my card saying I'm going to use it. So I'm going to spend my 4 energy I've got, but it gives me 2 steel, and it also puts an oxygen into the atmosphere, which will bring the terraforming rate up by 1. So that's 2 actions, so it has to go back to Heather at this moment in time.
Okay, so I'm going to play another card that's going to slightly annoy Charles. So, I'm going to play this for 11. It's called Mining Expedition. So I raise the oxygen by 1 step.
Which gives Heather another...
Yeah. I also remove 2 plants from any player, which in this case will be Charles. And then again, 2 steel. And then I am passing.
So, with what I have, I can't actually play anything. So I'm now going to have to say pass as well. So I will get, I've got no energy, I've spent it all, so nothing goes over. I do remove all markers off my actions so I can use them next generation. I'll get 22 money, a steel, 2 plants before Heather tries to kill them all again, and 4 energy. Heather.
So I'm still in 2 production, but I'm on 23, so I get 25. And then get 2 titanium. Get 1 plant. And I get 1 heat.
So it goes back to me for generation 5, and we again get 4 cards to look at. So I'm going to look at buying 2 for 6.
I'm also buying 2 and paid 6.
So what I'm going to do is, it's going to be a lot, but it's going to put me into a good place for future turns, is I'm going to put this card down. It's costing me 27, so I'm going to use 20. I'm going to use 21 money and all my free steel to class as 27. So what that does, it gives me another action I can do, but it also increases my titanium by 1, and it also gives me 2 points at the end of the turn. My other next action I'm going to do in my turn is spend my 4 energy to do my steelworks, which will give me 2 steel and an oxygen, so I will get another terraforming rate. That's 2 actions, so it has to go to Heather.
Okay, so this card I'm really glad that Charles put the oxygen up to 5 for, because it requires exactly 5% oxygen. So there are some cards that will require a certain percentage or a certain number of something for it to become active. So this is 13, but I've still got that card in play, so I'm going to pay 12. Oops. Get some change back. So this is called Zeppelins. So it requires 5% oxygen, and you increase your money production 1 step for every city tile on Mars. So that is 2, I believe, so far.
Yep.
So I'm going to increase my money production up to 4. And that's so that because it's green. So I am now going to play another card called Space Mirrors. I pay 2 for this. And I can have an action to spend 7 money to increase my energy production by 1 step at any time I want. So I'm going to place that out, and that is my 2 actions.
So my first action is going to be playing Space Elevator, which I've just played last turn. I'm going to spend one of these steals I've done, and I get 5 money for it, so it's quite good. I can convert something which would cost me 2, or save me 2 money and get 5. So I'm going to spend 3 of that money I've just got to do micro mills, which give me 1 heat production a turn. That's 2 actions, so it goes back to Heather.
Okay, so I'm just going to top up how much I actually have. I have quite a lot of titanium at the moment, so I'm just going to count this up. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12,
15, 18, 21, 24.
That is fine. So, you don't get change, do you?
No.
No. So...
but you can use normal money to...
Yeah. 3, 6, 18, 21, yeah?
Yep. So that's 18.
Plus 2.
So 20 in
20.
total.
So because this is 21, but obviously I have the 1 left. So it's called Comet. So I raise the temperature 1 step.
Which gives Heather a terraforming rate.
I place an ocean tile. So I'm going to place this. Where do I want to go? I think I will place it here. That gives me 2 points.
Oh, why have we got one of yours? We don't actually mark oceans. Sorry. Oceans are neutral.
So 2
2 points.
And then I get to remove up to 3 plants from any player. So Charles, you have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of them.
So I lose them, and I put the terraforming rate up for Heather 1 place for placing the ocean as well.
Okay. Oops. I think that is me.
Sadly, I don't have any, enough money to do anything. I've been greedy and been spending it all on everything, so I'm going to say pass. So that was a pass.
Yes.
So I've got no energy to move across. Heather's never got any energy production. My single actions come off. And then we'll get it. So I'm on 23. Heather's still staying ahead of me here. So I am still in a bit of a money deficit against her. Especially when she gets a lot of things for free. So I get 23 there. I do get 1 steel and 1 titanium now, which is helping. I'm putting 2 plants on my card again. I'm sure Heather's going to kill them both before I can use them. So I've got some energy there. And I've even got heat energy. So every space on my tile now is giving me something. I haven't got anything on money except for terraforming rate at the moment. So it'll go to Heather, generation 6. Heather, do you want to get your areas?
Yep, so I am on 25, but I'm now on full production, so I get 29. Then I get 2 titanium, 1 plant, and 1 heat protection.
Although we're going into Generation 6, we will just keep it going 1 or 2 more times because I want to show you certain areas while we're playing. So I'm going to keep 2 cards.
I'm also keeping 2.
So it's Heather, you to go first.
So I have 8 of these now. So what I am going to do is I can spend 8 of these to increase the temperature. So that is what I will do.
So the temperature's going to go up by 1, which gives Heather a terraforming rate. And that's why I wanted to keep us going a little longer to show that last action we haven't seen so far.
So my next action will be to play this card. 3, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to pay 8. And play this card, which increases my heat production by 2 steps. So
that's energy.
Oh yeah. This is 2.
So on cards, we should have said, if they've got a brown border, it means your production goes up by it, and if it's just got the symbol, you actually get that area. So I'm going to do release of inert gases, which cost me 14. However, what it does do is put me up to terraforming rates, and that's my first single-use card played. For my second action, I'm going to do a space station, which gives me passive ability, which Heather's been loving hers so much. It's going to cost me 10, so that's 3 from titanium and 7 from money. And it goes every time I now play a space card, which has the titanium symbol, I pay 2 less money for it, and it gives me a point as well. So that's my 2 actions. So Heather's turn.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 7. To undo this action to increase my energy production by 1 step, and I believe you can only do that once per generation.
Yes.
I'm going to place something on that to say I've done that this generation.
So for me, I'm going to do my steel switches and place my marker on it. So I spend my 4 energy and I get 2 steel, and I increase the oxygen by 1, which means I get a terraforming rate. So I've caught Heather back up, and we're both on 26 terraforming rates. My next action, I'm going to sell one of my steel with my elevator for 5 money. Again, I can only do that once a generation. So it's back to Heather.
I am passing.
Sadly, I can't actually afford any of my cards in my hand, which means I am also going to pass. And we will now skip ahead to 5 generations. So thanks for watching this video. We've decided to break this into 2 parts. So as this is generation 6, you've just seen, we'll resume with part 2 of this video at generation 11, which shows the ending of the game and the scoring. So please stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe.